6 ways to recharge the batteries of an EV while the vehicle is either in motion, like in-flight refueling, or parked, idle, far from a charger, off the grid. Number 1. Brake heat, all currently wasted, powers small fluid boilers, turbines, and generators. This turns a liability, brake heat, into an asset, electricity. Number 2. Heat from the car body. A dark car parked in the summer sun is way too hot to touch. Use some of that heat to power a turbine and generator. As above, this also turns a liability into an asset. Number 3. Magnets on wheels, like wheel weights, spinning past non-rotating coils 16 times per second at 70 miles per hour. Multiple magnets and coils. This is not rocket science. Number 4. Magnets reciprocating within linear coils as the vehicle starts, stops, and turns. Michael Faraday showed us how in 1831. Let's put it to work, recharging batteries. Number 5. A free-moving mass, like a can of spinach, compresses air or liquid in a cylinder as the vehicle starts and stops, powering a turbine and generator. Number 6. A reciprocating mass, think of a bowling ball, reciprocating in a carrier in the dead space under an 18-wheel truck trailer. This powers an electric generator. Number 1. Waste brake heat. On the left is a model airplane engine, popular some years ago. It is a fully functioning, two-stroke internal combustion engine displacing 0.049 cubic inches. The quarter is for scale. This shows what miniaturization can do. All vehicle brakes get hot, especially in racing. This heat, all currently wasted, can be used to pressurize and vaporize a working fluid in a closed circuit separate from the brake fluid. The working fluid powers a small fluid turbine and electrical generator. This is the subject of U.S. patent. You'll see the details right there with a little schematic diagram. Number 2. Waste car body heat. It is impossible to keep the temperature of an object exposed to direct sunlight from rising. Here we have a black Corvette parked in the sun. The ambient temperature is 92 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. The temperature on the roof of the Corvette was 185.3 degrees Fahrenheit. This is perilously close to the boiling point of water. This heat, all currently wasted, can pressurize and possibly vaporize a working fluid to power a fluid turbine and generator. It recharges the batteries of an EV while it's parked, idle, in the sun, far away from a charging station. The U.S. patent number is given. The title is Power Generating System Utilizing Expanding Fluid. Number 3. Magnets on wheels. At 70 miles an hour, 15-inch wheels rotate about 16 times each and every second. Neodymium magnets are small but powerful. Here's a neodymium magnet the size of a chiclet, a little piece of chewing gum, holding up two 14-inch pipe wrenches, 3 pounds apiece. The invention is to place small magnets on a rotating wheel like wheel weights. The magnets spin past wire coils stationary relative to the wheels, generating electricity while the vehicle is in motion. Think about it. Multiple magnets, 16 times every second at 70 miles an hour. This is another form of in-flight refueling. The U.S. patent number is given there, and the title is Power Generating System Using Induced Currents from Vehicle Wheel Rotation. Number 4. Magnets reciprocating in a carrier. A cylindrical magnet, here represented by a small wrench socket, slides freely inside an aluminum tube. On the right, we have two powerful neodymium cylindrical magnets sliding freely within a thin-wall PVC pipe. Wire coils are wrapped around each conduit. The coils could be mounted under the seats, in the trunk, or under a vehicle. The coils generate electricity each time the magnets pass through them whenever the vehicle starts or stops. Some postal trucks start and stop almost 1,000 times every day. U.S. patent pending. Number 5. A moving mass powering a fluid turbine and generator. The spinach can on the right is a close fit within a 3-inch conduit, but it does slide freely as the conduit moves. The can is a free piston, and the conduit is a cylinder mounted under the vehicle. As the vehicle starts and stops, the piston creates fluid pressure, either air or liquid, within the cylinder, powering a fluid turbine and a generator. U.S. patent pending. Number 6. A moving mass powering a mechanical generator. This is sort of the same as above, but using a cable or belt, the heavy weight reciprocates, spinning the rotor of a generator. It may use a rack and pinion. The weight could be massive, and a carrier in the dead spaces under a truck, bus, or delivery vehicle. For example, a 6-inch cube of stainless steel weighs 62 pounds and could ride on marbles or rollers. U.S. patent pending. A note about vehicle motion. Cubes or carriers are mounted in the dead space at the tops of vehicles, such as trucks. The cubes are removable when the space is needed, maybe only half the time. The rest of the time, they generate electricity whenever the vehicle starts, stops, or turns. Cylinders are mounted in the dead space under 18-wheel truck trailers. There's plenty of dead space there that can be put to use recharging the batteries while the vehicle is in motion far away from a charger. In-flight refueling. Imagine below that the cylinders are 40 feet long, 9 inches in diameter, each housing a bowling ball or a free piston. The balls roll 40 feet each time the truck starts or stops, generating fluid pressure, turning a fluid turbine and electrical generator. Bam, bam, bam is music to my ears. You may be wondering, wouldn't these ideas add extra weight to the vehicle? Yes, but consider, early Model T Fords were started with cranks, like a lawnmower pull cord. Powered by human muscle, few women could start them. Charles Kettering saw opportunity there and replaced the crank with a starter motor, a generator, and a storage battery, all of which are still with us to this day more than 100 years later. All three, the starter, generator, alternator, or battery, added significantly to the weight then and now. But where would we be without them? Mr. Kettering went on to help found General Motors. The argument that these concepts add to vehicle weight quickly breaks down under scrutiny. The Model T Ford weighed about 1,400 pounds, while a new Honda Civic weighs more than twice as much. Almost every improvement to the Model T, think about a heater, automatic transmission, power steering and power brakes, air conditioning, windshield wipers, even seat belts. These all added to the weight, cost, and complexity and robbed power from the wheels. This is simply the price of progress. Would you buy a car today with a starter crank and without a heater, air conditioner, windshield wipers, or a sound system? Much of the cargo space in vehicles is unused for most of the time. It's simply dead space. The uppermost part is unused almost all of the time. For several of the above, a lightweight removable unit in a box or carrier puts its dead space to good use, recharging the batteries. In place most of the time, but removed or folded up when the space is needed. It's a matrix or array of tubes. With cargo or luggage, the load could rest on top of a unit, which could be removed if needed. Each of the concepts shown here has a U.S. patent either allowed or pending. For further information, please contact John Saavedra, that's Saavedra@mindspring.com, and I have a website, lookforthepower.com. Thank you.